Hey garden friends, AJ's Green Thumb here. So here it is mid-December and we're pushing 70, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. This is unheard of as long as I've been living in the DC region. Anyhow, this gives me prime opportunity to continue working in a garden. So this area right here of the cut flower garden, I want to go ahead and get that together. I'm going to trim down this Magnolia, and I'm also going to go ahead and plant up the area right in front of the screens. I'm going to put 2 variegated cone boxwoods, and I'm going to put a ground cover of geranium, and I'm also popping some bulbs. So let's go. So as you guys can see, there's still cardboard and other sheet mulching debris on top of the surface area, but I wasn't too concerned about getting it like absolutely clean because I just needed to know what I'm working with underneath all the leaves. So once this is planted up, it's going to be mulched up anyway. So. So this area is roughly 19.5 feet. We'll say 20 feet. 20 feet long by a little over 7 feet deep. So we said 20 feet long by 7 feet deep. So even though this area is part of the cut flower garden, I still like to compartmentalize the areas I'm working in. It makes it easier to tackle and easier to work in. All right, so with these boxwoods and most of the plants, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of plant them up or mound them up because I know through experience and living here for the past 2 years that this area in the wintertime can collect a little more water. So one of the things about a formal garden is that you want to practice elements of symmetry, making sure you have one of the other or one opposite of the other. You also want your plantings to be of similar heights, similar colors, similar dimensions. You want your plants to pretty much match. However, this area is not going to be completely formal, but I do want a lot of formal elements. So right now I'm just making sure both poles for these variegated boxwoods line up properly. All right, let's go get those boxwood. Now we do have some root obstructions, specifically in this hole, but I can kind of finagle it in there. Yeah, I think there's a gap between the bottom of the plant, the bottom of the root ball, and the hole. So let me figure that out. You don't want any air pockets within that hole, especially going into the winter. Geranium will take up about a good 2.5 to 3 feet in spread and about a foot to a foot and a half tall. So a few specs about Roseanne. So the full name is called Cranesbill, Geranium Cranesbill. It's a hybrid and it blooms in the summer and the autumn. It takes sun to part shade. It is a perennial. It gets to be about just under 2 feet high, and it's a 2 feet wide spread. And it's hardy within zones 5 to 8. So I'm at zone 7, 7A. I'm gonna go ahead and plug in a few bulbs. Well, some of you are probably wondering, why is the finial, the pineapple finial back here and the pedestal back here? All right, so let me show you guys real quick before I get the bulbs, what I swapped out this for in the circle garden. So over here, I went ahead and got me I think it's a 42-inch Roman lady statue. But come spring, what I plan on do next video is plug in a bunch of tulips within there, so this statue will really be set off come this spring. Just kind of going a little closer. It has a nice companion pedestal. That's about 24 inches. And like I said, she is roughly 42 inches. She has great detail. She's got that wreath around her head, which is pretty much a Roman characteristic. She does have some detail in the face. And she's basically a watering girl, a Roman watering girl. So that's what I ended up putting in place of the finial. All right, let's get those tulips. All right, so I got the bulbs. I showed some of these in previous videos. So this right here is a daffodil white diamond mix. All right. They get to be between 10 to 16 inches tall, and they bloom mid-spring. So I got 2 bags of 10. I'll just populate around each boxwood. So I got some more mid-spring blooming mixed perennial tulips. I also will show you guys a picture of these on the screen. I don't remember the name top of my head. So let's go ahead and pop these in and mulch this area up. All right, garden friends, so in this area right here, I want to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm going to plug in a few more tulips and bulbs, and then I'm going to get my cardboard and mulch and button this area up. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and cut down this Magnolia sprout. The tree was cut down, but the stump remained, and then of course you have a lot of sprout growth. So I'm going to cut that down. I'll spend a little time later on getting more of the stump out, and then if I have enough time today, you guys see this border material right here? I'm going to bump it out probably 3 feet, and I'm going to lay them in a soldier course formation for the length of the border for the cut flower garden. All right, stick around. All right, guys, as you can see, the primary old stumps are still there. Some of them started to deteriorate. But what I'm gonna do is come back, and all the fresh cuts that I made, I'm gonna put some stump retardant on it and throw a black sheathing, plastic sheathing on top of the entire mass, and just basically suffocate it over the winter season. All right, let's tackle plugging in a few bulbs. I do want to leave about a 2-foot width walkway right here. Let's see, 1, 2. So I'll go ahead and plug in some bulbs all the way up to the edge, and like I said, I'm gonna leave about a 2 to 2.5 foot walkway to traverse this cut flower garden. All right, so I just went ahead and made a whole bunch of holes. So I crammed in as much as I could in the holes provided, and I'll go ahead and top it off with some Galanthus nivalis. These come up pretty early, late winter, early spring. And so at least I'll have a show right here in the beginning. Sheet mulching time.